All right, I'll wing it. I hope my internet holds. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Carnivore Sunday School. I'm John Laspina, the Carnivore teacher. We have with us Rockin Coach Amy, Stephanie Taylor, and George Goodenough. So excited about today. Amy has followed a proper human ketogenic diet since 2018 and became fully carnivore in July of 2025. She's lost over 100 pounds and healed chronic issues, including joint pain and eczema and allergies and asthma. And her journey includes overcoming 7 major surgeries, including brain surgery for, I can't say this, trigeminal neuralgia, multiple orthopedic surgeries, and a recent hernia repair. With extreme food sensitivity, she's learned that simpler eating and sometimes fasting works best for her. After severe exhaustion in mid-2025, Amy turned to carnivore for energy and recovery, and she's now training as a health coach through the Dr. Kiltz and the Proper Human Diet programs, and is passionate about helping others reclaim their health. So welcome, Rockin, Coach Amy. And I want to ask you how we got the Rockin part in the front there. Do you also have a day job where you're a rock star?
So my day job is in IT, actually. I work in IT software support and training, teaching software. But I'm also a singer, and I played piano for 20 years, and I just love music in general. So, like, it's gotta be a music theme, you know? So, Keto Rock Stars, Rockin' Coach Amy, I don't know. It's just kind of a little brand that I've started for myself. So, I have to put music in there somewhere. So that's why.
All right, I'm all for that. I love that. Okay, let's go around. We'll go counterclockwise this time so that we end up with you last, Amy, and then you can tell us more details about that. So I'm just Carnivore Teacher Alpha. I'm on YouTube. This is my 7th year in this journey, 3 years carnivore, healed many issues, lost weight, the whole shebang. I tell my story so many times, it sounds boring to me. But as an intro, this is my way of life, and I am not going back because I know too much. Once you ring the bell, you can't unring it. And I can't put seed oils in my mouth anymore. I can't eat the carbohydrates and the plant toxins anymore because of my brain. I just know what it is, and I just can't do that to myself. So that's where I am. And I just share my knowledge on YouTube with a daily video and this wonderful Carnivore Sunday School, and hope that anybody who's looking can find some answers. And I've gotten a lot of feedback in comments that they have found some answers from our shows, by the way. So that's why I'm here, and I'm really glad. Steph, how about you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie, and I'm Happy Sexy Health on YouTube. And like John, George, and indeed Amy, I found carnivore and it had amazing health benefits. And also, I'm using it to manage stage 4 cancer diagnosis. So I'm here, happy, sexy, and healthy, and excited to be with you all again. And now it's over to you, George.
Okay, so I'm George. I'm 60 years old, 6 weeks younger than the headmaster, John, as a matter of interest. And I'm a former type 2 diabetic, morbidly obese. And there's my, I think you can work out which is the before and which is the after. So that's all gone now. No problems at all. I'm using money with energy and health to focus on bringing the worldwide carnivore community together. As such, I have been appointed as the UK ambassador to the Healing Humanity movement. And as we probably know, the film will be coming out fairly shortly. And my main role is in that department is trying to organise the UK premiere, which was actually Stephanie's idea. I ran it past Kerry. We haven't decided anything yet, but we do have some plans in place. So watch this space. As well as Healing Humanity, I am also a member of the KMT, the Kilt's Mighty Tribe. I am a Kilt's health coach. I am a moderator on the channel, and I am working. Dr. Kilt's calls me his troublemaker because I keep on coming up with really good ideas for him and me. One of which brought him to England at short notice before Christmas. And currently we are working on 2 projects in the background, one of which is Carnivore the Musical, because we have discovered the incredible Barbara over in Ohio, who has been writing some fantastic songs, and we would like to put them on a Broadway stage show. Now, with Dr. Kilt's, nothing is impossible, so just watch this space, as I say. And also, our latest crazy idea is the Carnivore Olympics. When we get together every couple of years or so, we come under the badge, we come under our own flags, be it the PhD for Ken Berry, be it the SBG, the Steak and Butter Girl, the KMT, Healing Humanity. Somebody volunteered to actually captain the Mitch Fitz team, the Old Guy Carnivore team. So, yeah, again, with Dr. Kilt's, you just never know. And so, yeah, we got a lot going on at the moment. I've got a lot more going on, but I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to hand you over now to Amy to introduce herself.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on here. I'm a big fan of this channel and everything that you guys are doing and all of your stories. And I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible because there have been a lot of diagnoses, a lot of surgeries. And so I'm just going to briefly touch on each one, just in case someone has experienced something similar. They may identify with that. First of all, I never had a weight problem growing up. I was actually a really thin kid. They used to call me olive oil, like the Popeyes olive oil, the really skinny lady, Sasquatch. I was tall, skinny, as a kid. It wasn't until my adult life that I started getting weight issues. But I always had I've always had these allergies growing up, and I was put on my first asthma inhaler and allergy medication at age 9. So I've been on allergy medications my whole life. And that becomes important when I start talking about the food, because unlike some people, I have a lot of food sensitivities, and I think it's just all related. When I was about 25 years old, I had the sinus infection that never went away, right? And then I had this intense pain in my ear and in my left side of my face. And it was a lot of doctors thought I was making this up. They couldn't find anything. They called me a liar. I was imagining things. And then finally I found this brain surgeon in Detroit, and he's like, within 5 minutes of talking with me, he's like, you have trigeminal neuralgia. And it's not something that can be seen. It's basically you rule it out, and that's how they come down with the diagnosis. So I had brain surgery in 2008. But before that, I was taking 6 or 7 Vicodins a day to deal with the pain. I was on diazepam, Klonopins, temazepam, stuff to help me sleep. And I did that for 2 years. This was back in the early 2000s when throwing out narcotics was like a normal thing. And, I was driving around, I was functioning as a human being, and it really wasn't a way to live. I was also taking 2,000 milligrams over the recommended dose of Lyrica, which is like, if you're familiar with gabapentin, it was like the gabapentin of the day. So I was just on a cocktail of different drugs trying to function as a human being. And then that's when I met the brain surgeon who was able to help me. And it's the only time in my life that I ever had any kind of depression, because they call it the suicide disease. It is so painful. I've never given birth, but they said it's more painful than giving birth. So that was the first surgery I had. I went for the biggest surgery, which was the brain surgery, right? And then about that time I met my husband, and I was probably about 30 pounds overweight, probably from all the medications and just eating and just trying to survive. And I heard of this diet called the Atkins diet, right? So a lot of us started with Atkins, and I didn't really ever read the book or anything. I'm like, oh, this just sounds like eating meat and vegetables. So I ate a lot of meat and vegetables, and I lost 30 pounds before my wedding. So that kind of stuck with me. And then we went on our honeymoon, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go off Atkins just so I can enjoy all the things on this cruise in the Caribbean. Well, it was a 2-week cruise. And in that 2 weeks, the pants that I took with me, I couldn't wear the same clothes at the end of the cruise that I took on, because I gained probably the 30 plus pounds back in 2 weeks, because we were going to the buffet at midnight and getting brownies and taking them back to our rooms and stuff like that. So that weight that I lost, I gained back. But I had the brain surgery and I was feeling much better. So I was happy. I was feeling good. I was learning how to cook as a new wife. and I wasn't even paying attention to anything. So somehow in that time after I got married, I slid up the scale to about 260 pounds at least. So, I mean, just over a period of a few years, I think I just gained and gained and gained. And then let's see, in 2011, I was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. I'm sure it was related to the weight gain. So that was something that, I was put on a CPAP machine. In 2013, I just woke up with my left hip excruciating pain. Just woke up one day, no injury, nothing. And finally, after a while, I went to a surgeon and he says I had a left labral tear in my left hip. So I had surgery on that and everything was good for about 5 years. Um, then, of course, I took it all for granted. I never lost the weight. I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm happy. I wasn't depressed that I was overweight. And in 2016, I was singing in a concert in New York City in Carnegie Hall. And if any of you have ever been in New York City, the city blocks are not like the city blocks in Mishawaka, Indiana. And so I was planning all these trips where we were going to walk, and I walked, I don't know, like 20,000 steps. I don't know how many miles that is, but at almost 300 pounds, I walked all of these miles and I ruined my foot. I ruined my foot on my trip. So I came back and I went to see a foot surgeon. So when you go to see a surgeon, what are they going to do? They're going to operate on you, right? So I had right foot surgery. Then in 2017, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure because I still hadn't lost the weight. My high blood pressure was 220 over 110 when I was diagnosed, which is, I think that's stroke level. That's pretty bad. I think I was like 38 when I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. So to me, that's pretty young because I'm going to be 50 in a month. So I dealt with that. And then in 2018, and some of you have seen this video, I was changing my hummingbird feeder and I walked face first into the spider web and I did this little like spin and I fell on the pavement in like the front of my house. And it was recorded because we have a security camera. So that I retore my left hip, the labrum in my left hip again. And so I had to see my hip surgeon. So at this time, I was talking with him, and this is what caused me to really take a look at myself. About that time, they started using like the My Chart, right? Hopefully, you all know what like the digital charts are for your medical stuff. My surgeon put in my chart, we've talked extensively about weight loss, which we never did. He lied, and I know why he did that now, because it was for insurance purposes. He has to go through all these hoops before he can actually do a surgery. So I got home and I opened my chart and I saw his note in there and it triggered me and I bawled like a baby. I'm like, my doctor thinks I'm fat. So like I got home and I'm like, oh my gosh, why did he not tell me I was over, why did he not say anything to my face? Why did he just put it in my chart? And so that's what triggered me to say, I got to do something about this. Okay. I've got a doctor who has put in my chart that I'm obese. And yeah. And not to mention, I had that original left labral tear repair, and it's not like a hip replacement. You are non-weight bearing for 1 to 2 months. And I live in a tri-level. So there's stairs and I don't have a main level bathroom. And so I have to go on crutches every time I have the surgery, and I have to go up and down stairs on crutches. And I can't put any weight on my foot. And I'm like, I can't do this at almost 300 pounds. I just can't do it. So I went back to the surgeon and I said, can you give me about 6 months? Can we postpone the surgery for about 6 months so I can try to lose as much weight as possible? And he was sure. He's like, so we scheduled a appointment for 6 months. And I'm like, I know what to do. I can just do this Atkins thing again, right? But I was doing it all wrong. I was eating grilled chicken breast and steamed broccoli like every day. And yeah, I was losing weight, but my hair was also falling out. So I was losing about 10 pounds a month. And then my oldest sister, Janine, who's secretly been keto for 20 years, she was like, she started sending me Dr. Berry videos, and she started sending me Maria Emmerich recipes. And I'm like, wait a second, I can have like keto lasagna on keto. I can do all the stuff, right? And so she saved me. Like, she saved me single-handedly with sending me all of these. And that's how I got introduced to Dr. Berry. And so I lost 60 pounds in 6 months, and I got down to 190 pounds, and I'm about 5'9". So I got down to 190. I'm like, okay, cool. This is low enough. I can have the surgery. So I had that surgery, and I just got off the crutches, and don't laugh, I was chopping a salad in my kitchen. Dr. Kiltz likes to make fun of this, but I was chopping a salad, and I took a baby step, and I felt my left hip pop, and I almost went to the floor, and that was about 7 weeks post that surgery. Dr. Kiltz will say, "See, plants are trying to kill you." That's what he says. But so I went back to my surgeon. I said, "I'm in excruciating pain. I'm worse than I was before the surgery." And he's like, "Look, I can't help you anymore. Like, I've done everything I can for you. So there's nothing more I can do, but I know a guy." So he has a surgeon in Dr. Shane No. He's in Chicago. And he's like, "He'll help you." And so he sent me to Rush Medical in Chicago. And this guy is the hip guy, the hip doctor of the United States. Fantastic. And he's like, "Yeah, I can fix you, no problem." So he did another surgery on me. So I had 2 surgeries in 2019, which was really weird because I ended up having a meat aversion that year. And I think I blame it on all the anesthesia and everything that I went through and all the stuff they were putting, but I couldn't eat meat for a whole year. The only thing I could eat was bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs. So that 2019, I ate nothing but bacon and eggs. I total weight loss 80 pounds, right? 80 pounds. Fantastic. I was fine just eating bacon and eggs every day, which basically is carnivore. I basically ate carnivore with an occasional salad. And then I stalled at 80 pounds for 2 years. Could not lose another pound. Enter in and this is controversial, so I apologize, but it is part of my story. Enter in Maria Emmerich and the protein-sparing modified fasting, right? That was all the rage in 2019. So I said, okay, 1 to 3 days a week, I'm going to, which basically is lean carnivore, for those of you who don't know. It's doing, eating all protein and no carbs, very low fat. And I did that. That broke me through a 2-year stall, and then I lost another, like, 30 pounds, and I got to the 110-pound weight loss. And then I did that for 4 years, and I stayed consistent. Yeah, Jonathan's saying that works very well for healthy people. I was staying consistent. Now, another thing I wanna mention is we all know what happened in 2020, right? So I've had this great energy, felt great until I got what we've been calling an intervention. I got an intervention in my arm. I got an intervention in my arm, and then I caught the virus 7 times. So I don't know if I had long virus, or I don't know if it was from the intervention, but something changed in 2020, and I just never felt the same. Like, it was just exhaustion. And then this spring, when I went carnivore, I had some stressful events in my life happen. And I you know, I've been in a space. I've been watching Dr. Berry, Dr. Kiltz. I got turned on to uh Dr. Chafee, Dr. Baker. I've been watching all these people for years. But keto was working for me, right? So I was more of a ketovore. So I really had no reason to really go carnivore, because if something's working for you, then keep doing it. But really, there was that exhaustion lurking. So I'm like, okay, I am just not feeling well. There was a couple of days where I felt paralyzed and I just could not get out of bed. So in July of this year, I'm like, I got to try this carnivore thing for 30 days. I just got to try it for 30 days, right? And see if it helps. And it did help. It did help tremendously. So I'm like, okay. And The other thing is I wasn't an alcoholic or anything, but I was still a social drinker. So I'm like, I think I need to cut out alcohol. I don't think that, I don't think I can do this and still have alcohol. I think it's not going to work. So I cut out alcohol and I went strict. I'm talking just meat, salt, butter. I cut out cheese. And I did that until, and as George has said a lot of times, we are the hernia twins. I was diagnosed with a hernia that I think I had symptoms of from April of last year until September. And until I had a hernia repair surgery, an inguinal hernia repair surgery in October. And in the recovery room, they were trying to feed me all kinds of crap. They were trying to give me crackers. They gave me applesauce. They told me I had to eat or they couldn't release me because they were giving me medications. So finally they're like, how about a stick of cheese? I'm like, perfect. I'll eat the cheese. That was like the lesser of all the evils. So I ate the cheese. And ever since then, I've been battling this addiction to cheese, but I have not had cheese in over a week. So there's that. But the other thing is my doctor quit. So I got this new doctor, and this new doctor is an osteopath, an osteopathic doctor, which is different than an MD. And they are running all these tests on me, and I didn't even have to ask. But a week ago, they tested my thyroid, and he not only tested the thyroid, but he tested the reverse T3, the reverse T4, and the two not enzymes, but the two antibodies that you can have for Hashimoto's, right? Because I mentioned that my sister has Hashimoto's. And so luckily I don't have Hashimoto's, but I do have hypothyroidism, which would explain why I was starting to not feel well. It was progressing. And I also gained 30 pounds on carnivore. People don't like to hear when people gain weight on carnivore, right? No one wants to hear that. But it's the truth. I gained like 30 pounds since I went carnivore, but it's not because of carnivore. I think it's for two reasons. It's because I did protein sparing modified fasting for so long and my metabolism was so low. And I also think it's because of the hypothyroidism. Like you just want to, I've been hungry all the time for a long time for those two reasons. So I'm on day 2 of my hypothyroid medication, and I asked for a desiccated natural thyroid medication. So I'm on day 2 and I'm only taking a half a dose because I am allergic to a lot of medications and a lot of things. I was scared to take the full dose. So I'm going to take a half a dose for a week. This is not medical advice for anybody out there with a thyroid condition, by the way. And my doctor did not tell me to take a half a dose, but I'm doing it to titrate up to make sure I don't have any adverse reactions because I tend to react badly to things I put in my body. So that's kind of where I'm at today. That's the short version. There's a much longer
That's
version.
the
But I
short
don't wanna go.
version.
That's the short
That
version. Yeah, there's a lot of things
that
that have
list
happened in there.
is enormous. Now, the first thing that pops to my head with that long list, as of right now, as of today, what on that list is gone because you're a
Yep.
carnivore now with healthy
Okay,
fat,
so yes, so let's see here.
or maybe do it the other way around. Don't list all the things. What is still present?
Okay, well, let me just say this because I didn't cover everything. My asthma since childhood.
Oh,
They say I still have it because they tested me
mhm.
for that, but I don't even carry around an asthma inhaler anymore. I had eczema, which I didn't mention. Okay, I don't have eczema anymore. My hands used to break out so bad they would split
Good.
open. My allergies that I've had since age 9, I
Wow.
do have to still take an allergy medication because I live with 4 cats and that's like the number one thing I'm allergic to. But my allergies are so much better just for like I don't get sinus infections. And another weird thing I noticed, and this is kind of gross, it might be TMI, but the earwax, I always had terrible earwax in my left ear. And that is like gone. Like
Hmm.
it's almost gone. And that's the ear I had all the problems in. Um, my high blood pressure. I'm totally off the medications. I've been off those for
Good.
like 4 years now. Uh So I no longer take anxiety medication, which I was on because of the trigeminal neuralgia. My joint pain and hip pain is much better. Now, it did get a little bit worse because of the hypothyroidism, I think, but that in general has been much better. My sleep apnea, my new doctor wants me to go for a test. I don't think it's totally gone, but I think it's much better since I lost the weight. And, and I do want to say this. I truly believe if I would have started this surgery, I wouldn't have. I think the brain surgery was from inflammation. I think the trigeminal neuralgia was from inflammation. The joint pain, the hip surgery, I think that could have been controlled, maybe not needing surgery, had I had ate better and not been eating things that I'm sensitive to gluten. I definitely know that. I'm sensitive to gluten. Um, there's just so many things that are so much better. And I'm one of those people, I can't really cheat. Okay. I can't go out or whatever you want to call it. What does Dr. Kiltz call it? A reward. I cannot reward. I can't treat myself. Now, yesterday I did, my keto sister was in town. So I did make a keto lasagna. Okay. It's still not noodles, and I did have a piece of that. And that's the first time I really ate a keto food since July. And, I don't really feel that bad, but that was the only meal I ate that day. I did OMAD and I just had some of the keto lasagna, so it had red sauce in it, right? It had red sauce and some lunch meat was probably the worst thing, but I am one of these people, I cannot cheat. When my sister-in-law was passing away, she sadly was dying from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease from uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. And this was during 2020, so we had to travel out of state to go see her. And it was just such an emotional day, the last day that we were able to see her and say goodbye to her. That day, I said, my husband was like, "Do you just want to go grab a pizza?" And this was in 2020. I'm like, "Yes, let's just go get a pizza." So the one time I tried to go off plan, I ate a half a pizza and a half order of sad breadsticks. I could not walk for 3 weeks. The joint pain in my hips returned, my eczema, my hands were bleeding. I broke out so bad, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the gluten. I cannot." And every once in a while, I'll go to a restaurant or I'll go to a function and I'll have meat and I'll just eat the meat, but they'll have gluten seasoning in them. And I'll know immediately because within 4 days, I can't walk for 2 weeks. So I guess that's maybe a blessing and a curse in that, I can't go off plan, right? I cannot go off plan. I could do
You
ketogenic
know
foods. I
exactly.
know my 30th high school reunion was this last summer and they had a taco truck. So I brought my own egg life wraps and I just had the meat and man, whatever they put in that meat, it was no go. I knew it was
Yeah.
terrible for like and it's not just a few days. It's like a couple of weeks it takes for me to get over it. So I'm just one of
Mm.
those people that I can't, I can cheat on carnivore with keto, but even the keto has to be fairly clean, has to be fairly clean. So that will be my treat, I guess, if I do
Right.
it once or twice a year.
Have you tried strict Lion just to see what the body does after 60 or 90 days of just Lion diet
No.
with no cheats for that long and see how the body reacts? Because you have a really good track record of knowing, all right, I ate this happened. I ate this happened, it lasted this long. Have you tried Lion?
No, and it would be great for me to do that because of my, you know, sensitivity to so many
Yeah.
things. But I don't do it because of the bank account, right? Because now I tried to eat 3 or 4 days of just beef
Mhm.
instead of, I'll have like hamburgers 3 times a week and then I'll have chicken or I'll rotate in some pork just because of the bank account. But I could probably do 30 days of just eating hamburger every day just, to keep the cost down. But like ribeye, that's like a
Well,
couple times
it's
a month
expensive.
thing. I can't, I'm not Dr. Baker. I can't afford ribeyes every day. But yeah, no, I don't do line just because I'm a sales shopper, and as you said, I'm studying to be a coach, and I've been wanting to be a health coach for years, even before I knew that there was going to be classes. This is something I wanted to do, but I also kind of want to be a coach for people who need like lifestyle coach, how to shop, how to look for sales, how to use technology to help you do this stuff on a budget, because I've kind of become thrifty at that. And how to use recipe apps if you are the type of person that uses recipes. Although that's one of the reasons why I like carnivore so much, is because you just throw meat in your air fryer, or you throw meat in your skillet and then you clean it up, you eat it, and the whole thing is like 30 minutes and you're done. No more, which is sad because my whole YouTube channel started because I was in the kitchen. I do these cooking live streams. So I may have to go back to cooking some keto things just to entice people into the PhD, although I don't really see myself leaving strict carnivore because I do feel so much better.
George, I don't want to dominate the conversation here. You're muted.
You're muted.
I am forever doing that because I keep on forgetting that I am muted. But as we can see, Steph has excused herself. So I am going to step up into Steph's shoes. So I'm going to try and run through who we've got tonight, and it's all the usual suspects. I'll see if I can name as many as I can. Forgive me if I've missed anybody, but it's we have Tanya, Kitchen Witch, with us tonight. Rick Rodriguez, Charger Mopar, GFG Homestead. Sorry, mate, don't know your full name. Brides is here. Evelyn, Bruce Kuhn. Now, Bruce, haven't seen you for ages, ever since I've had to leave Keto Cookout. So it's good to see you, my Texas mate. Juliet is here, and John Together Strong. Michael's Adventures, Lynn, and Erin. Lainey is here, my beloved wife. Wendy the Feral Grandma. Egg is here. Nancy, Jonathan, Carnival Muscle, Jemmet, and who we know as Juju, I think, Amy. Great friend of ours. Yeah, absolutely. Thomas is here. Thomas Pruitt, Target Prime Rib. Coach Angela. Sharon is here. Steadfast. Linda is here. Kevin is here from the Tuba. Well, I can't remember the name of it now, but Kevin is here anyway. And Barbara, yeah, Tuba Chat, that's the one, yeah. And my favorite songwriter, Barbara from Grandma's Crochet Corner, is here tonight as well. So welcome, Grandma. It's great to see you. It really is. I haven't seen you for ages, have I? And Twinbrook Acres, Tammy has turned up. And the last I've seen, the last new one to arrive, well, I'm lying because Debbie Cards and Crochet has just turned up. Hello, Debbie. Haven't seen you since this morning. And Donna Ray is here as well, Bacon Runner. Whew, I think I've gone through everybody, and you've got a lot of fans out there, Amy, quite clearly, and it's all our friends, isn't it? Yeah. So John's gone away for the moment. So
I just want to say too, if you're watching from my channel, please subscribe to Stephanie at, is it Sexy Happy Health?
Happy Sexy Health. She's happy sexy health, and she's healthy. So
and then also, well, George is good enough for you with the number 4, good enough for you. Yep. And then John is the Carnivore Alpha teacher.
Carnivore teacher. Yeah.
I must be dyslexic today. I'm doing everything.
I'm having terrible.
Yeah, John used to be just a carnivore teacher, but he decided that he was the alpha wolf of the pack, so he put the alpha on the end of it. John, are you back?
Oh.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Not brilliant audio, to be honest with you. Oh, not brilliant audio, but we can now. We can now. Give it a go. See what you can
hear
do.
Me.
Yes,
you can hear me. All right. I'm having terrible internet connections today. Our internet in our community is upgrading and switching over. We got notice about that, and I didn't realize it was going to affect this so poorly. I'm going in and out. Your audio for me. So apologize to our viewers if we're having technical issues on my end. There it goes. And click all over the place. So go on with what you were talking about. I'm sorry.
I was just telling everybody who's on my channel to please subscribe to all of your channels. This is one of my favorite things to do on a Sunday is come into this. I've missed the last couple weeks just because I've just had so much going on with singing and concerts and whatnot. But this is like part of my Sunday ritual is to watch you guys here. And Yeah, and I was just gonna say, so what I'm focusing on right now is obviously dealing with the new diagnosis within a week of the hyperthyroidism, and just taking a half a pill 2 nights in a row, I already feel so much better when I wake up. I'm taking mine. So most people take their thyroid medicine in the morning, right? After they have their
Mhm.
stomachs emptied. But the problem with that is, like, I read instructions and you can't drink coffee for an hour after you do that. And I'm one of those people that still drink coffee and still have that addiction. So I'm like, forget that. I can't do my day job and deal with customers first thing in the morning until I've had my coffee. I just can't. I can't do that. So I'm like, basically, you can take the medication if you haven't eaten in 4 hours. I'm like, this is perfect. I'll eat my last meal at 5 or 6 p.m. That forces me not to snack or eat, right? It forces me not to eat. And then I'll take the medication at 10 p.m. and then I'll go to bed. Forces me to fast after 5 or 6 p.m. and not take that medication. I'm like, this is perfect. So I'm actually taking my thyroid medication before bedtime, and I'm making sure I don't eat or take magnesium, because you're not supposed to take magnesium with that. I take my magnesium and I don't eat my last meal 4 hours before I take my new thyroid medication. So I'm starting with that. The other option is to set an alarm 1 hour before I wake up and then roll over and take my thyroid medication in the morning and try to go back to sleep for an hour so that I can have my coffee first thing in the morning. But I'm not too jazzed about that idea. So, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I just have to say, everyone says, Amy, you're so energetic all the time. I'm like, I'm so exhausted all the time. So just wait until I get this thyroid medication ramped up. I might have to take something for too much energy.
You'll get everything evened out.
Yeah,
But
I
I
agree.
like your story. It's very interesting because you're sharing with our audience here, our viewers, how you're so unique, how everybody is so different. Some people react differently. You ate a few things on a cruise and you were messed up for 2 weeks. Then you tried
Yeah.
something and you were messed up and some people it's one day. Some people it doesn't affect them at all. So the main takeaway is everybody has to test themselves. You don't know how your body's going to react, and then learn that lesson. And some of us, I'm one of those people, I have to learn the lesson multiple times. I had a terrible reaction to something and months go by and I act like I didn't have that reaction and I do it again. And then I'm like, stupid. You learn that this happened to you the last couple of times. And then after the second or the third time, then I'm like, I can't have that. Like I can't have stevia ever, ever. It messes me up like you can't believe. I get like a migraine headache. And so I've learned after many tries, stay away from that crap. So I hope our audience, we all have different things that do work or don't work for us. And we have to, when we listen to stories like yours, man, do they encourage us, but they also show us that everybody is so different in what we're sensitive to.
Oh, and actually, Holly has a question.
I was going to say,
Holly
we
Springer.
have a question. Yeah, well done, Amy.
There you
You
go.
want me to
Amy,
deal with it. Yeah,
Amy
deal with it, Amy. Deal with it.
you read it.
Okay, so
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
Amy,
she says, Amy, have you tried marinara sauce yet on a meat crust pizza since going carnivore? My birth mom was half Italian. Her dad was first American born. To me, it's a condiment this way. So it's so cool that you brought this up, Holly, because my great grandparents immigrated on my mom's side from Italy. So like giving up bread and pasta to go keto was like an ordeal, right? And in going carnivore, giving up red sauce. Like, how am I gonna not have my gravy, as they call it over in Italy? How am I not gonna have my
Right.
red sauce? And I did it, and I've missed it a little bit, but not as bad as I thought. So yesterday, my sister was in town for Vegas, and I made Maria Emmerich's protein noodle lasagna. And I'm like, you know what? I was gonna make it with what's the white sauce, the Alfredo sauce, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this for my sister, and my husband, who's still keto. And you know what? Maybe I'll have a piece, right? Maybe I'll have a piece. So I had a piece of it, and honestly, I didn't feel that bad. I fasted the rest of the day. So I had one meal yesterday. It was actually kind of 2 pieces of lasagna because it tasted so good that I had to have a little bit more. But but honestly, I don't feel bad today at all. So that might be a thing that I can do once in a while. Like, well, we'll see. We'll see in 4 days. I guess I can't really answer that yet because usually when things happen, it's not the next day. It's usually 4 days
What in
from
the tomato might be an issue? If it's the nightshade, is it the lectins? Maybe
I don't know
it's
because
something that I've learned that some people will cook and cook and cook the tomato sauce, which can lower the lectin content, which might be what the issue that's causing for some people.
yeah. And I made it
I don't
myself.
know.
I did not buy any store-bought, but I did use
Okay.
canned tomato sauce and canned tomatoes and then tomato
Mhm.
paste. I make my own sauce. The reason primarily is because Rouse became so expensive. I got tired of the prices.
Right.
And then I realized for spending an extra 5 minutes, you could just make your own sauce, right? And put whatever you want in it. And so I put some Italian seasoning, some garlic powder, some salt, uh, and some onion powder. So I did put seasonings in it too, because that's how I always made it when I was keto. And some, what is that? Oh, there's a liquid, it makes it tart. I forget what it is. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a liquid thing that you put in there to give it like a zing. And I can't think of that. Now it's gonna make me. I'm gonna want to pull up my recipe. Not vinaigrette, but something along that lines, like a vinegar type thing. I forget what it is. But George is thinking really hard too.
I am.
Cream of tartar, maybe?
I can't think.
No, it's oh my gosh, I can see the bottle.
Apple cider vinegar.
No, hold
Apple cider
on.
vinegar. ACV.
No,
Well, that's all right.
let me.
I don't know. I know that if we were talking, if Dr.
Balsamic
Anthony
vinegar.
Chafee was on this
Oh,
podcast
balsamic.
right now,
Yeah,
what would he
balsamic.
say?
Yeah.
What would he
balsamic.
say?
He would say it's trying to kill me. Plants are trying to kill me, maybe.
Well, he would point out, and I'm not pointing this out, but I'm just saying I know what he would say. I've listened to so many. He would say, okay, he would point out all the plant ingredients you mentioned, and
Yep, I
say,
know.
try it without. That's what he would say. Yeah.
Well, and I just find that I could have made the Alfredo version of that, right? Because the Alfredo version, and you make your own Alfredo sauce with heavy whipping cream and butter, and then you just the worst thing about that is if you don't have a clean lunch meat you're using as a noodle, the lunch meat is going to have probably some natural flavors and some sugar and some stuff in there. But it's compared to eating a regular lasagna, and if you're only doing that once in a while, it's probably not so bad, right? I know, like Dr. Kilt says he eats French fries once in a while. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying everybody should go out and eat a French fry or anything, but he doesn't do it every day. So for me, this was I'm not eating the leftover lasagna today. It was a 1-day thing. And also it'll kind of be like an experiment too, because well, let's see the things that I was eating since 2018. I was eating lasagna and spaghetti on a regular, like or keto spaghetti on a regular basis. I don't want to say spaghetti as in like gluten noodles, but I used a keto noodle. So we'll find out in 4 days if what I ate yesterday affects me now since I've cut it all out, right? And went strict carnivore. Like to me, not being strict carnivore is having the coffee that I drink and eating cheese. To me, that's not strict carnivore. So, and as George knows, I've been battling the great cheese incident in 2025, as I call it. The great cheese incident where they gave me cheese in the recovery room, and it's been a struggle ever since. So I've been trying to stay off the cheese, especially since the weight gain has been an issue. Cheese has been very soothing to me. It's like the drug that my body wants that it shouldn't get, but it's just like any other addiction, I think, is cheese. I'm a cheese addict. I'll just say that.
It's the casomorphins. I love cheese. Cheese. Oh my God. Cheese is amazing, but I know why. I know why dairy. If you understand the reason, for me now, It's the mental aspect. That's the casomorphins that are acting like an opioid to me. And that's why I love this ice cream, or I love this cheese. And then I can mentally say, okay, I'm not going to have it, because I mentally know what it's doing to me. Even though I'm still attracted to it. I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be able to eat cheese once or twice a year as a treat, like at holidays or something. But
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if I can, though, because of what happened in the OR. I mean, one cheese stick, one
Then don't.
mozzarella cheese
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah. 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 You have to
And
test yourself. If try like an A2 cheese, a goat cheese, it may have less
yeah,
of an effect on you.
yeah.
Again, everybody's physiology is different. It sounds like you know your body really well, and that's what I want our viewers to take away is know thyself, and then act appropriately, make responsible decisions. We're all going to put things in our mouth. We're going to try things. We're going to test the waters, right? And then figure out what works the best. I'm not going to be a zealot. And I know that you wouldn't do that either. Say you must eat this only because that's what carnivore is. We're all different. It's a spectrum. Dr. Berry has that long spectrum chart that shows you what you can eat from low carb all the way up to lion diet. What works? What works the best? When you mentioned your cats, the first thing that popped into my head is I hate to say get rid of the cats, but if you have an allergy and you've got all those cats, if you have a peanut allergy, you don't keep eating peanuts.
Yeah, but John, the peanut's not called Linus. The peanut isn't called Linus and isn't as sweet as Linus, believe me, because we all know Linus and he's absolutely lovely. So yeah, peanuts and cats, they're different.
Funny you mention that, because I do really well with my own cats, right? When we get a new cat, it takes me about 3 months to acclimate to them. But my new
That's
doctor,
interesting.
but when I go to someone else's house, their cat I'm not used to, and sometimes I swell up. But
Wow.
my new doctor has this idea, this osteopathic. He's like, you've been on allergy medication your whole life, which probably isn't good. And even if I didn't have the cats, I'd probably still be on it because I'm allergic to dust, and you can't eliminate. I mean,
Oh gosh, yeah.
when I dust, I get sick, right? You can eliminate it, but the process of eliminating it makes me sick. So, he's like, let's do these allergy shots, which are going to be not pleasant, because from what they were telling me is they inject me with the things that I'm allergic to, and I'm going to have some unpleasant side effects for a while. But long term, it should help, I don't know, cure me of the allergies, or I don't, or keep them at bay. I don't really know. But so I'm curious to try that experiment of getting these allergy shots. But if I come on and my face is all broken out and I'm all red for a while, you guys will know what's going on. It's the allergy shots. So I'm interested to try that experiment too. No one's ever suggested that to me before. So that will be interesting.
Sure, for sure. Sounds like your body acclimated to the particular dander flakes from your own cats, and then when a strange cat, you're near a different cat with their dander, your body doesn't recognize it and starts the histamine response. It's so interesting. Wow.
Yeah. And so, and I'm supposedly, and Lewis would love this, right? Because I'm supposedly highly allergic to cats. And there's a lot of people who have cat issues. And I know when we get a new cat, I may be uncomfortable for like a few months, right? It takes a few months to get acclimated to him. But I also know the medication I can take to help alleviate that. But Lewis loves it when we talk about, you can have cats, you just take this medication, right? Louis Lotito, if you know who he is, because he's the cat daddy. So he loves when I talk about, I'm highly allergic to cats, but I have 4 of them and I take XYZ and I'm getting these shots. So he's usually happy. And another thing you mentioned too is about the proper human diet spectrum. I am so pumped because even in the Kilts training course, Kilts and PhD, they're teaching us it's not all about pushing carnivore, right? Pushing carnivore, because you got to meet people where they're at. And I have been everywhere from low carb, Atkins, to well, I've never gone lion. Okay, I probably should. I probably would feel really good on lion, but to carnivore, to strict carnivore. So I am excited when I become a health coach to help people in whatever, space on that proper human diet they want to start out in, or where they think they can be. I think that is going to be a strong suit for me, because I've done protein sparing modified fasting. I've tried a lot of things. I've tracked my food, I've tracked macros, I've tried high fat, I've tried low. I mean, I've tried it, a lot of it. I can't say I've tried it all, but I've tried a lot of it. So I'm hoping that knowledge and expertise and all the different medical issues that I've been through, I hope that will help. I can help people by just, sharing experience that way.
You have so much experience from what I've heard in this short amount of time that you absolutely can help find exactly where they are on that line, meet them where they are, just like you said. And your experience plus their experience, you have a dialogue, and there are so many people that can benefit from your expertise. When you live it, you have the wisdom, you have some expertise. That just book knowledge is one thing, but when you've been through it, you can really help a lot of people with some thyroid issues, with hernia issues, with allergy issues, because you've been there. And you can also have that empathy, because you know what they're going through, because you're going through it or have been through it. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Definitely. Hey, welcome back, Stephanie. Anybody else do we have any other questions from the comments there, George or Steph, that we might want to read?
I haven't seen any questions as yet, John. However,
I see comments, but I'm not seeing any questions.
No, we got comments, but no questions. Maybe we can just, as you know, I'm very much about the community and about what people are interested outside of carnivore, to get to know people. So, Amy from Mishawaka, Indiana, I believe. Can you tell us about your education? I believe Notre Dame. And how did you come by the name the Irish Floozy, by the way?
Oh, okay. So I grew up in Mishawaka, Indiana, we're in South Bend, Indiana, basically the sister city. It's like 5 minutes away from me. And this is where the University of Notre Dame is. Now, I did the Rudy thing. If anybody's seen the movie Rudy, I went to Holy Cross for 2 years, and I had a couple professors who taught Rudy. And they're like, you need to go to Notre Dame. I'm like, say what? And they're like, you need to go to Notre Dame. So they wrote me letters of recommendation. So I finished out my junior and senior year, and I have a degree in management information systems from the University of Notre Dame, which is basically computer science, the business side of computer science, is what I did. And so I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. I'm not Irish, but Russ is Ohio. Those of you know Russ, homesick Buckeye. He lives in Florida, but he is a huge Ohio State fan. And of course, Notre Dame and Ohio State are huge rivals. So anytime on Tuesday night I go onto Russ's channel, he tries to hold me back and he calls me the Irish Floozy, but I hold my own with him with my Notre Dame, allegiance. So that's how I got the name Irish Floozy. He calls me the redheaded Irish Floozy, is what he calls me.
So, and I assume on Monday night you're going to be watching a game. Am I correct?
You mean this is Indiana?
The Indiana University. Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah, it's in Miami here near me, and traffic is crazy.
So I will be. As a matter of fact, we're all in Indiana rooting for Indiana, right? Even if your team is not Indiana, you got to root for Indiana. So, and plus they haven't won.
Hoosier. All right.
Yeah, I'm a Hoosier. So, and we do have Indiana University South Bend here, and my one choir was affiliated with them. So I'm probably, a Hoosier by proxy too. So, and Lainey's asking a question I just saw. Have you been to Paris? No, I've only been to Germany. Oh. I haven't been to England. I haven't been to Paris. My sister, my real sister, but she's also my keto sister, just got back from Paris. So
we will have to put that right one day, Amy. There's no question about that. We, Lainey and myself know Paris quite well, and you're always welcome in England, of course.
Yes. Yes.
Mind
So
you, having said that, are we going to meet later on this year? Are we both going to be, or all three of us? In fact, I think Steph might be going as well. Are we going to the?
really,
Are we going to the zoo? Is the question.
I'm going.
I'm going.
So
Yeah, when I say the zoo, folks, I actually mean Kalamazoo in Michigan, which is going to be the Impact meetup hosted by Robin Heron. Steph, we were talking the other day. Is there a possibility you might make it there as well?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay, so we've got the makings of a mini meetup in between us already, haven't we? And I believe Juliet's going. Laney's coming with me. So isn't that great? We're all going to the zoo together. So we will see you this year.
do you know how long you're going to be staying for?
I know
George?
this is the question, because you might be able to get some tickets for the Fighting Irish game, the Notre Dame game the following week.
Yep.
Well, we'll have to go nearer the time on that one, because there is just a possibility I might have to try and take in Wyoming the week before as well. So I don't think.
So you won't make that, because there is a game on the 12th, but that's a whole week past
the
meetup.
I think it's unlikely, unless we win the lottery or something, that we can stay for that length of time. To be honest with them. But
And
don't rule it out completely yet. But give me a cutoff date, and I'll give you a final answer before
May.
the cutoff.
Because what happens is the Notre Dame football tickets are very, how do I say this? Hard to get sometimes, but
Yeah, I
I'm an
understand.
alum. So they do the lottery sometime in May. And that's when I can, I have to pay my annual donation to the university to even get into the lottery. And that doesn't even mean that I will get the tickets. But the game that's on the 12th, I don't think it's a very high profile game. So I should be able to get 4 tickets to that.
Lovely. We got 3 months then, really. I'll let you know by the end of April as to how it's looking. But it's unlikely, but you just never know, really. Never say never, do you? You know, Dr. Kiltz has this great saying, think it and it shall be. So you never know. You never know. Right.
You also
how we do? Go on.
You also have to be able to be around 200,000 people at once. So if you guys have anxiety about being around 200,000 people at once in one location,
no, that's right.
that's
Exactly.
the other thing.
Oh, and the other thing we need to rule out is a Kentucky Derby. Do you know that your Kentucky Derby is 10 times the cost of getting into our Derby in Epsom? So yeah, that was a good idea, but it's not going to happen.
Here's the other thing.
Cool.
You have to be a high profile person to even get any tickets. And I'm like, I'm just a little old Amy in the carnivore space. I'm not like, somebody famous. Just name somebody famous,
It's a very different culture over there than it is to here. So yeah, I think we can put a line through the Kentucky Derby plan. Maybe you can come over to our Derby or our Grand National. That'd be good fun. Anyway, so 3 minutes ago, I've been occupying this carnival space with sport, so I better hand it back to the headmaster, otherwise I'll get detention. And back to you, John.
That's all right. We only have about 3 minutes left here, so we'll do what we normally do at the end is we go around and we just share where we can find each other on Facebook, on YouTube, and everything. So let's start with you, Rockin, Amy. Where can we find you? And are you a health coach yet? Have you, or you're working?
Not yet, but within the next month or two, I should be a certified health coach. And my channel is at Keto Rockstars. I also have a private Facebook group that's been there since 2021, and that's Keto Rockstars as well. So you can find me on all social media as Keto Rockstars.
Good. Let's look for that. George?
Yeah, my channel is good enough for you. I took a bit of a break, but I'm bringing it back on a weekly basis now, every Saturday. The idea being that I spread the word around. I'm really going to be focusing on what meetups are coming, how you get there. We have this wonderful global group of people. Amy, Stephanie, and myself are on it. We seem to sort of move in the same circles. And the idea being it's a cultural exchange. We can give advice on how to travel, when to travel, where to travel to, how to get from the airports to the accommodation, we're basically travel agents. That's going to be the idea. It's a cultural diplomatic mission. So really that is my main focus at the moment. Good enough for you as a channel, and moving people around the world so we can all meet up as we are all doing in September, and it's going to be great. Okay, thanks.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm Stephanie. Sorry I had to drop off today, but I'm at Happy Sexy Health, and I've got a YouTube channel, and I'm on all the other channels as well. Okay, over to you, John.
All right, thank you. I'm John. I'm Carnivore Teacher Alpha on YouTube. I put a teaching video out about 5 to 10 minutes long every single day. I'm on this wonderful Carnivore Sunday School, which is just a huge part of my life now. I look forward to it. And I started something last week and everybody liked it. So I'm coming back on every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's just me and there's a topic, and I won't really talk much about me at all, but whatever the comments and questions are, that's going to drive the content, the talk. So tomorrow night's talk is about how to eat out at a restaurant safely with all the seed oils in the way. And I show my little seed oil allergy card. So if you'd like to join me there tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, the link is in my social media and in Facebook and YouTube as well. So everybody, thank you for coming. Sorry for some technical issues we had this week, but we're going to be back again next week. Steph, do you know off the top of your head, who do we have next week? I'd like to highlight that right before we leave.
Yes, we've got Robin Heron, Carnivorous Grandma, next week.
Good.
And Robin is
Love
also
Robin.
the host.
Okay.
Robin is also the hostess of the Kalamazoo event. So that
Yes,
ties in very
yes.
nicely.
Yes, she is. She is a carnivorous grandma next week. So join us next week, everybody. Thanks for coming. Have a great rest of your day, evening if you're in
Bye,
UK.
everybody.